Hey everyone, JR again, doing another video for the To Watch pile, www.towatchpile.com. One of the earlier videos that we did was looking at some of the posters that I had framed. The other day I was going through some of my not framed posters and I thought that you guys might like to see some of those ones that I haven't yet done. Now, as you can see here, there's a whole pile of day bills and stuff like that. Fair few. You'll have to excuse the way I pronounce the word. I think it's locandina, which is like the Italian one sheet. There's a whole bunch of them here, but I've picked a couple out that I really want to show you guys. Before we get to those, I just want to show you one cool thing that's in my collection. I have two of these, one of them for Hostel, and one of them for one of the Harry Potter films. I think it's for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and it's just a gigantic picture of Hermione. But here, this is a pretty big, as you can see, I'm 5'8" or 9" or whatever it is. This is a pretty huge vinyl poster. It was issued to DVD shops in Australia when Hostel came out. A friend of mine who managed a DVD shop at the time was good enough to hand this over to me. I love it. It's not quite something that you can hang in the house because A, of its size, would be too expensive to frame. It does have these sort of, I'm using this pretty crappy string to hang it up just for the excuses of this. But yeah, nice big vinyl poster, nice condition. Just love this. Like, I'd love to have 1 million of these, but you'd never ever know where to put them because of the size of it. Yeah, I just can't get enough of this one. I mean, I like the movie, and when the mate of mine handed this over to me, I was pretty stoked. And when I got the Hermione from Harry Potter one, I was pretty stoked too, because it's not something that you see too often, and certainly not in the sort of condition that it's in. But what we'll do is next, we'll go back and we'll have a look at a couple of the Locandinas, and we'll go from there. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so here we are with the first ones. This is a particular favourite of mine. This is Le Notti del Terrore. Excuse my Italian accent, I don't have one. In Australia and other Western countries, or English-speaking countries I should say, we know it as Burial Ground, the Nights of Terror, or Night of Terror, or the hundreds of different ways of putting it. This poster's from 1980. It was made by a company called Stampa Photogrom in Italy. I really like this one because it's in pretty good condition, except for the fold across the middle. I keep it rolled up. Great image of one of the terrible zombies from that wonderfully terrible, horrible, fantastic, stupid, grand Italian horror film. Best known for Peter Bark. It smells of death, Mommy! Yeah, this is a really, really cool poster. I'm really glad to have this. This is one of the I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Locandina, which is like the Australian day bill, or do the Americans call them one sheets? I'm not sure. But yeah, always loved this movie, and I love this poster. It's one of the next ones to be framed. Actually, the next few that I'm going to show you are the ones that are on the top of the list to be framed. Over the rest of them are still a little bit curly. So that's that one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so the next one that we've picked is Cannibal Ferox. Love this movie, like I love all of the Cannibal movies. This is the Umberto Lenzi one, as you all should know if you're a exploitation or horror movie fan. This has always been an image that I've loved of this film. Tragically, it could have been a little bit bigger, but that's the joy of the Locandinas. I am, however, pretty stoked with this one because it has this blank bit up the top. So this is where it would have said this Saturday night, 6 PM, one session only or whatever, but in Italian. Yeah, it's just such an awesome poster. I was very happy to get one that was blank. Yes, it's got a rip there, which is disappointing, and one there and a couple of folds, but in general, I'm pretty happy with the overall quality of that poster. Which is why I wanted to show it to you guys. I think you're going to love the next one though. It's another Italian horror film. So if you're an Italian film fan, or an Italian horror film fan, you know this one. You know, I possibly should be quacking and talking like a duck, Inspector, because here we have the New York Ripper with the Lo Squartatore di New York. Again, my apologies to our Italian members of the audience. It's the Lucio Fulci film poster. awesome poster for a film that, I don't know, I didn't see it till much later than most people did. I only really saw it when it first came out on DVD. I think I got a UK copy of it, which may have been edited, and since then I've probably got... No, it was actually a US copy of it, I'm sorry. I got a US copy, which may have been a Blue Underground one, and since then I have it on... I've got it in Shameless twice because they released an edited version and then an unedited one. I've probably got it on on Blu-ray there as well. So I've ended up with multiple copies of this film, and it's not that it's nasty and violent and gigantically misogynistic. The fact that the bad guy talks the way he does, and that everybody refers to it as like a duck. Ducks don't talk. So he might be quacking, but ducks don't talk. So, but everybody in the film says, oh, he's the guy that talks like a duck. Ducks don't talk. So I guess, you know, obviously the inference is that he's talking like Donald or Daffy Duck, but they're not actually saying that, so it's pretty funny. But anyway, back to the poster. Again, in pretty good condition, little tiny rip at the top. Nice clear image, unfortunately, because it's been rolled so tight, it is like that. Hoping to flatten all these out and get them framed very soon. Again, another one with the date section not filled in. So I really can't be happier than getting a poster in this sort of condition without that written on. I do have a couple of other ones that have those written on, that's in amongst this pile here. But man, to get something like this from the year it was from, in this good a condition without that written on, yeah, I'm a happy movie poster collector, I should say. But I have a happy movie poster collection, so I was kind of right in both stances. Anyway, so that's that one. I've got one more to show you in this slot, and this is probably for my favourite slasher film. Here we go, we'll have a look at this one right up now. Okay, so the last poster we're going to look at in this video is for my favourite slasher, the slasher of slashers, The Burning. Why do I like it so much? I like it because it was never sequelised. So a lot of the times you find films like, you know, the Halloween series and the Friday the 13th series. Yeah, I love those movies and I love the franchises. But every time you add something to the story, it diminishes everything. You know, it's like all of these Marvel movies that come out now. There's so many of them that are eventually going to collapse under their own weight, and you've got to start to make sure that histories and all the rest of it are all perfect. When you just do a one-off film, you don't have to worry about that. The Burning. Today is not Friday the 13th. It tells you quite clearly that this is not a Friday the 13th film. If you see this movie alone, you'll never be the same again. I wasn't. Totally fell in love with this film when I first saw it on VHS way back when. It is an odd film for a couple of reasons. There's a little bit of an origin of the bad guy at the beginning, and then there is not a murder for almost the entire second act, and then bang, the murders start happening. And it's more like a mass killing rather than a serial kill. It's not like somebody's murdered and then found and then murdered and then found. It's just all at once. A whole pile of the people that are in the film get murdered all at the same time. Cool poster. I love this poster. Honestly, I'm not sure where it came from. I think it's an Australian one. If somebody could leave a note, if they know where this came from, I'd be really appreciative of it. But I like this poster because it's got that image that everybody knows of the burning of Cropsey holding his hands up, holding the shears, which was the cover of so many of the various releases. And it's also got the, you know, it's not even really representational of anybody in the film. So that's kind of a little bit weird, and just the axe that comes out of nowhere. But it's just, I've got a burning poster, and it's an original burning poster, and it comes from whatever year that it was. It's got that wonderful original movie poster smell. If you haven't seen The Burning, get on it. Get on it right now. I don't care where you are. Get up, walk away from your TV, walk away from your computer, walk away from wherever, go to the shops, buy a copy of The Burning and watch it. It's an awesome slasher film. Has Jason Alexander in it. It has, and Jason Alexander, as most of you will know, is George Costanza from Seinfeld. It has, or the sleazy guy from Pretty Woman, if you're more that way inclined. It has Fisher Stevens in it. Fisher Stevens, if you remember Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2, he was the really offensive, stereotypical Indian guy in that, and he's in this. Also, Holly Hunter's in this in basically a non-speaking role. You sort of see the camera go past her a couple of times, and I think she might say one line. I'm not even sure if it actually has a name for her character. It might. I'm not sure. But yeah, you've got to see this film. And if you notice here, produced by Harvey Weinstein. You probably know that name because it's the name of one of the names of Miramax. But yeah, probably one of my favourite movies and probably one of my favourite posters. I don't know why I haven't yet framed it. I might actually right now roll this up, get in my car and go and get it framed. So thanks for spending a bit of time with me. If you like this video, ask me, I'll show you more. As you can see, I've got a heap more of this sort of stuff, and there is cylinders after cylinders of movie posters over there that I can go through and show you a whole lot of stuff. And I've got standees and more than I care to even tell you about. But if you care, I will tell you about them. How's that sound? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, if you want to read my latest movie reviews, www.towatchpile.com. It'll be in the bits down the bottom underneath the video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll be back soon with another video. See you later.